Hi again, and welcome back to Motkamel Financial Track. We are still on the system admin, and in the previous lecture we finished talking about the options icon in the system setup, and now we'll start talking about the report signature. Click on report signature and it opens up in a new window where we can select the report and who has the privilege of signing that report. They'll be able to sign the report at the end of it. First, we select the report by clicking on the plus sign here on the left, so we can view all the systems that have been activated in the program. And in this case, we're going to find the general ledger, inventory, purchases, and sales. Let's go ahead and take general ledger, for example. When we click on it, we'll see the transactions and reports. And here we can select a specific transaction or a specific report where we can add the signature on it. Of course, users that we give the privilege to will be able to add their signatures. You will click twice on journal vouchers. It pops up in the report's name field. Then we click on modify, so we can use the first and second signature fields. To add signatures in those two fields, we need to activate the variable active report signatures. Then we add the signatures, of course, in the relevant fields. We can add up to 6 different signatures, and we can also add notes on the report's header and footer. Don't forget to click on save before you exit after you've made the changes that you need. Next, we have system settings. When you open that up, you can see how it's related to the appearance, like the font size and so on. For example, let's talk about the field buttons. Click on the arrow. And as you can see, we have 3 different options here, and these options determine where the system's icons are going to appear. We have left of the screen, top of the screen, and bottom of the screen. You can customize that according to your preference. Just do not forget to save before you exit and then reopen your screens. Alright, so let's go back to the setup screen in System Admin. On the left, there are 2 variables. The first one is hide process toolbars, and this one is automatically activated. I'll give you guys an example. We'll go ahead and open the general ledger. To be able to see the process bar, we have to click on what we need to deal with, and the relevant icons will appear. But if we were to deactivate that variable, close general ledger and reopen it, so the changes take place, you will see that the icons come up in the process toolbar. So like I said, this screen is basically just related to the appearance of the system. So we will move on to currency details, and it's the little dollar sign. It takes you to a window where you can basically deal with the currencies. You can add a new one by clicking on the plus sign, or you can edit existing ones by clicking here, and you can also delete one by clicking on the red X icon. You can also search for a currency by clicking on this icon here, and when you select a currency, the details show up in these fields. Let's go ahead and add the dollar. First you will click on add, enter the currency's name in your language, and you can also enter it in any other language in the field currency, and you can add an abbreviation for this currency to show up on the reports and in the transactions in the currency code. Let's go ahead and type in USD. In fraction, obviously you will enter the cent. The currency's name, code, and fraction are all mandatory fields, so to be able to add this currency on the system, you will actually need to enter these details. If this is the first currency you're setting up, the system lets you choose whether it is your local currency or a foreign currency. And once you've selected one local currency, the system deals with any additional currency as a foreign language. As a foreign currency, because obviously no country has 2 local currencies. Okay, so down here we can see 2 tabs, details and average exchange rate. Let's go to average exchange rate first, and this is where the system automatically gives you the exchange rates for this currency. Details is divided into 2 sections, exchange rate, and basically minimum exchange rate and maximum exchange rate. Evaluation by currency, this is where the average exchange rate appears, and on the left we can see a couple of variables. We have virtual currency, and that one is used to select the currency which will show up by default in the transactions for exchange offices. Used in system, this box is checked if the currency has been previously used in the system. And then we have stopped, and if you activate this variable, then the system will block any transaction that is basically related to this currency, or basically it will stop you from using this currency throughout the system. So this one here is related to entering the selling price of this currency according to the local currency, and this one is related to the minimum price for selling this currency, and it will not accept any amount lower than what you determine here. Minimum exchange rate, here you can enter the price you sell this currency for in your local currency. And minimum exchange rate, again, this is where you enter the highest purchase rate for this currency, and the system will not exceed it. Everything we just talked about basically is related to exchange offices. I think we've established that, well, lots of the fields that we can see here are actually not quite written right, so let's just move past that. So this field here, minimum exchange rate, is actually about the exchange method, either by multiplying or dividing according to the local currency. When we are done setting up all the settings and the variables in the screen, you will click on save, so you would be able to use this new currency. Now let's move on to countries, and here we can add new current countries or edit existing ones. And when you open the window, you can see edit, delete, save, go back, and also exit. If you want to add a new one, just click on add. Number and document type, both are automatic and cannot be edited. These are like codes for the country and for the nationality throughout the system. Then we enter the name of the country in the local language and a foreign language as well. Select the currency and currency code, and when you click on the arrow, it shows you all the currencies that you've entered, so you can select the right one. Then we add the nationality in the local and foreign languages, and in case we want to stop dealing with this country, or any country for that matter, on the system, just activate the variable stopped. The countries that have been previously added show or come up in this list, which contains the country code, name, nationality, and you can also see if this country is blocked on the system from the column stopped. All the data in this menu is just for viewing, so you cannot make any changes to a country here. You cannot edit any of the information. But if we clicked on edit and activated the variable stopped for the country we just entered, clicked on save, and then reopen the list we were just on, you will see that the box stopped is checked in front of that country. Regarding the cities and the regions, you can add or edit in the relevant window. However, regarding cities, you will need to select the country. So for example, when we click on add, we can add Cairo and then link it to Egypt, then save. And by the way, regarding the regions data, it's the same everything when it comes to adding, deleting, editing, and so on. And of course, adding the region and the city and the country is very useful when you're entering your branches and their locations. Now let's talk about identity types. When you click on it, you are directed to a window from which you can add, edit, or delete types like the passport, for example, or the national ID number. When you click on add, you will need to type in passport, for example, or whatever it is, the identity type that you're adding. You will type that in local language and in foreign language as well. And that will be in foreign name. So let's just establish together that the field foreign name throughout the system is dedicated to entering any piece of data in a foreign language. If you want to restrict the use of this identity type throughout the system, you can activate the variable stop. So don't forget to save after you've entered the relevant data, then exit. That's everything for now. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, share, follow us on Facebook and also Instagram.